And my last thing for tonight, because I'm now beginning to get tired, is I'm going to share a very personal letter from my psychologist therapist with you, because if we're going to work this out together, and if I really want you to know my experiences through this and how it's been with me, then I have to be prepared to share everything, to be real, and to be able to look at this for myself, to see the changes that have happened. And now I felt anxiety today, and I don't know what time it is now. I just couldn't sleep, and I didn't want to have another night of not being able to sleep, and I didn't want another night of taking diazepam, and I didn't want another night of taking sleeping tablets or painkillers. I just wanted a night where I can just exhaust myself and then just flop and go to sleep. Following our meeting, this is your PTP, Psychological Treatment Plan, a care plan for psychological therapy. Please note that this may be part of a larger care plan if you are seeing other professionals from the mental health team. Issues discussed. When we met, you told me about some trauma-related experiences, such as fear, anxiety, and a sense that you are falling. You also described anger, lack of trust, and pushing people away. You feel safer when you are isolated, but this also leads to a sense of loneliness. You experience significant physical pain, which can be an impact on your sleep and your mood. We discussed how we might make sense of your problems and agreed that your difficulties can be understood in the context of complex trauma. We know that memories of traumatic experiences can be stored in a messy way in the brain, and some aspects of these experiences can be easily accessible even when people do not intend on accessing them. This can trigger flashbacks and memories that can be remembered emotionally and physically. You have had a number of traumatic experiences, and you recall your family's rejection when you were pregnant with your daughter as your first time you felt traumatized. This was the first time you felt let down by your family, which had previously experienced as supportive and very protective. Sadly, you had further horrible experiences which had significant impact on you. You have shown significant resilience over the years. For example, you managed to go to college and become a hypnotherapist. Unfortunately, the accident you had in the kitchen stopped you from going ahead with your plans, and it was at this time when the intensity of your current difficulties was triggered. We also assessed whether people have alcohol and substance misuse issues. You told me that you have never used drugs or alcohol in your life. As your physical pain can become intolerable at times, you may turn to taking diazepam or drinking a Bailey's coffee to numb the pain. In psychology therapy, high levels of prescribed benzodiazepines are likely to greatly reduce the benefit of work, as it requires the capacity to reflect and to some degree experience the emotions that arise. Therefore, it will be important to continue monitoring the likelihood of such substances inhibiting our work. We considered NICE guidelines for treating problems like some of those you described. We agreed that trauma-focused therapy would be the most appropriate approach to your problems at this time. Your therapy goals to learn techniques that will help with managing intense and painful emotions, to understand why these difficulties arise. We have agreed 24 sessions of this therapy. We will review therapy progress mid-therapy, and we will then consider if focusing on processing traumatic experiences would be a helpful way forward. We discussed the above issues and noted that there were no immediate concerns, that you are aware of who to contact should this change. And we currently supplied contact details for support and assistance services out of usual hours. These are listed below. I'm now tired, but